This is Richard Wolff from Democracy at Work, responding to another Ask Prof. Wolff question. This one comes from the Global Capitalism Live Economic Update Patreon community, and we are grateful for it. And this particular question comes from J. Matson Heininger, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. J. Matson Heininger asks us the question, what is the future like, especially a future of worker co-ops and democratic workplace organization that we've talked about on these questions and answers for a long time? What's the impact on all of that, of the technological revolutions now underway, particularly computers, robots, artificial intelligence, and all that, when the predictions are that 80% of the jobs we now see around us, that we now use to earn livelihoods, will be rendered obsolete and unnecessary by these technical changes? What in the world does that imply? And in particular, don't we need some agency like the government to kind of handle this situation? Well, I want to respond by offering a skeptical commentary, if I may. We have had, particularly in the last 3 centuries of capitalism, a number of really fantastic technological breakthroughs. Just a few of them. We developed machines that can make cloth out of the wool of the sheep, out of the fibers of cotton. We can make the cloth, we can make the textiles, we can make the clothing. An enormous amount of labor, of time of working people for millennia were devoted to making clothing. And that is now done by machines, literally from beginning to end. Millions and millions of jobs disappeared. We have learned how to farm the land with immense machinery, chemicals, and all the rest of it, making the product achievable with a handful of people, unimaginable before, and all of those jobs growing and processing food have been mechanized. And I could go on. Electricity transformed everything. Modern chemistry did that. Atomic energy did that. But here's the skepticism. The jobs that were destroyed were replaced by new jobs that were created by the same technology. In other words, technology, like many parts of our lives, have complicated and contradictory consequences. They eliminate jobs, but they create new tastes, new possibilities, new ideas that in turn generate jobs. My guess is if we don't need 80% of the jobs we have now, it'll be very easy to come up with important things that need to be done in our communities, for which millions will be needed to do them. We don't do real well by our elderly, do we? Millions of jobs could be created to have a meaningful, exciting, organized life after your regular work life is over. The same is true for our children. The same is true for those challenged in one or another way, mentally and physically. There's lots of work to be done caring for one another. And then there's the reality that if we want to, we can expand leisure as well. That has been a dream of the human race for a long time. We don't have to look at it as a danger if we understand that the same technology that makes it possible for relatively few people to do the work that it used to take many, we can keep many working, but at a job that has per week 10 hours, not 40. And then we get the same output, but we have a vast leisure to enjoy. Socialists have long been advocates of more leisure, and that's not the least of the reasons why socialists have gotten votes and supports in many countries at many periods of time. So I would like to argue that we not see this as a frightening, dangerous development, but instead understand that it could have negative consequences. Technology often has, but it also has positive ones, and that the real trick is to identify the negative and minimize them, and to identify the positive and maximize those. That would be the rational response. And what do I mean by the negative effects? Well, Jay Matson has told us massive unemployment. We allow technology to throw people out of work. And in a capitalist system, we take almost no responsibility. You're gone, you're out, you're fired, we don't need you anymore. You have to go out there and look for a job which may not be there for a week, for a month, for a year, for 10. We make the burden of this technological advance fall very unequally and unfairly. On the people laid off, it's a disaster. On the corporation that brings the machine in, it's more profit. That's using technology to help the profiteer and to hurt the working class. There is no need for it to go that way, none at all. The machine that comes in could be handled as follows. If it's twice as effective as the old machines, then everybody works half-time, because half-time with a more effective machine gets you the same output that before required twice the amount of time. That's using technology to enhance the leisure of the majority rather than the profits of the few. That way, we minimize the damage technology has often done and focus on the enormous benefit, in this case, enhanced leisure, that it can bring. That's a rational way to do it. And you know something? If worker co-ops were the way we organized enterprises, that's what we'd be doing, because we'd be looking at how a technology affects the profits the enterprise gets, but also the lives we all lead. And we would take both into account. Capitalism doesn't do that, because the people who make all the decisions are at the top and they care about profit. For the rest, they don't have any responsibility and they don't care. You're fired, you're gone, end of story. I go on with my business. Technology is a two-edged sword, and we have to use it that way. If discussions like this seem to you, as they do to us, to be important contributions to insert in public awareness and consciousness, please partner with us. Share this video. That's a way we can extend the reach of the work we do. And if you can support us financially as well, please know that too will be appreciated. Thank you.